India is gearing up to take on another South Asian cricketing giant, Bangladesh. Now, what started off as a friendly sibling rivalry has turned into a high-stakes competition. Until 20 years ago, India and Bangladesh were the best of friends in cricket. India often tried their best to give Bangladesh players more international practice. The BCCI also was extremely vocal in vouching for Bangladesh's test status in the year 2000. Bangladesh became a phone call for the BCCI when it came to cricketing matters. At some stage, Bangladesh started emerging from the shadows of India. The Tigers no longer wanted to be seen as younger siblings to the men in blue. Over the years, Bangladesh began to expand their horizons and started producing young cricketers that brought the X factor to the game. Their fighting spirit added to their obsession to beat India in all formats of cricket. But India still lead Bangladesh in World Cup wins. The men in blue have trumped the Tigers thrice in 4 head-to-head matches. Now, the two teams will meet again on the greatest cricketing tournament. Hundreds of Bangladeshi fans are expected to fill the stadium. Hordes of sports broadcasters from Bangladesh have arrived in India to cover the game. The pot is brewing for an intense cricket face-off. So let's take a look at some of the most competitive moments between India and Bangladesh.
It all started at the 2007 One-Day International World Cup. India batted first and were rocked by Bangladesh seamer Mashrafe Mortaza, who took 4 wickets. Then spinners Abdur Razak and Mohammad Rafiq cleaned up India's batting order. 6 of India's lineup was sent back to the pavilion with just single-digit scores. The next-gen Cool Cats of Bangladesh led the chase with their aggressive batting. Tamim Iqbal, Shakib Hasan and Mushfiqur Rahim went on to score half-centuries as the Tigers beat the men in blue by 5 wickets, and Bangladesh had arrived on the world stage. If 2007 lit the fire, the World Cup of 2015 fanned the flames of the India-Bangladesh rivalry. For the first time in their cricket story, Bangladesh had made it to a World Cup quarter-final. In their way stood the men in blue led by Mahendra Singh Dhoni. India batted first and put up a mammoth total of 302 runs, with Rohit Sharma scoring 137 in his innings. However, when Sharma was sitting on 90, he was caught at deep mid-wicket, only to see the umpire rule the delivery a no ball, a decision that was deemed controversial by Bangladesh. When the Tigers began their chase, they were bowled out for 193 runs. India had won by 109 runs, but Bangladesh had been left with a bitter taste. During a bilateral series between India and Bangladesh, there was an on-field collision that portrays this rivalry. Earlier in the innings, Bangladesh bowler Mustafizur Rahman had the Indian batting order in shambles as he took quick wickets. But during his spell, he made attempts to block Indian batters from taking runs. Debutant Mustafizur came in front of Rohit Sharma when he was running between the wickets. Sharma warned the bowler from obstructing and even pointed a finger at him. When Indian captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni was on strike, Mustafizur tried his antics again. He appeared to drift into Dhoni's path as the Indian captain was taking a run. But instead of dodging Rahman, Dhoni ran into him and shoved him away with his forearm. Something only India's Captain Cool could take on his shoulders. Mustafizur left the field for a bit before returning to complete a 5-wicket haul on his debut. But the collision between Dhoni and Mustafizur had riled up the crowds, and it became a focal point in the India-Bangladesh rivalry. Just 1 year later, India and Bangladesh faced each other at the T20 World Cup. A very strong bowling attack had shocked India as the men in blue ended up scoring just 146 runs. But India held their ground and took the low-scoring game to the wire. It was the final over. Hardik Pandya was bowling for India. Bangladesh needed 2 runs from 3 deliveries. On the next 2 balls, Pandya picked up a wicket each. Now Bangladesh needed 2 runs with 1 delivery to go. Even a single run would have tied the match and taken it into super overs. Pandya bowled a wide delivery. Bangladesh batter Shovagat Home swung and missed as the batters scampered to draw the match. But they couldn't beat Dhoni's sprint from behind the stumps. He flicked the bails off before the non-striker could make it to the crease. The Bangladesh team and fans were left in tears after Dhoni's photo finish to the stumps. After the shock of the 2016 game, Bangladesh were up against India in the 2018 50-over Asia Cup final. Opener Liton Das had powered Bangladesh to a modest score of 222 runs as the batting order collapsed. Bangladesh were depending on an aggressive bowling attack to win the trophy. India started off slow and were rocked by an early wicket. Bangladesh bowler Nazmul Islam took the wicket of Indian opener Shikhar Dhawan and celebrated it by dancing like a snake, a dance that's commonly known in South Asia as the Nagin dance. India went on to win the match by 3 wickets, but the dance mocking Shikhar Dhawan left a bitter taste between the two sides. Now they are going to face each other again. What started off as a sibling rivalry is now a fierce competition. And fans will be eager to see the fire between Bangladesh and Team India heat up the World Cup even more.
It's the dream of every cricketer. The ultimate glory. Few manage to keep their date with destiny. But for many, it's been heartbreaks and a cross to bear. The Holy Grail is here in India. I'm Rupha Ramani and Firstpost brings you the ringside view. We bring you the Cup of Dreams. Cricket World Cup coverage like never before.